Hello everybody, welcome to another video from Runner XBT. First and foremost, nothing in this video constitutes as financial advice. I'm just gonna share my opinion and my personal experience on the topic of how to get a job on crypto Twitter and what I did. Just a year ago, I just got my first internship at like 20 followers account. So yeah, let's get straight into it. First and foremost, if you haven't already, please consider following my account and a YouTube channel as well. So when it comes to finding a job in crypto or on CT, you can do something like, as simple as Google jobs in crypto. But this is not something that I want to discuss today. I want to go more in depth, because my assumption is if you click on any of these websites, these companies are mostly looking for senior front-end engineers. And if you're watching this video, it's probably not you. I don't think I have that many super experienced people in the markets watching this. So this is more catered toward people who maybe just started in crypto or have been around for a few years but never really had any jobs in crypto Twitter and would maybe want to learn more or potentially get their first job. So I think I kind of prepared this into 3 parts, but I think everybody's different. So step 1 is you and your personal situation. Maybe you're just a 18-year-old who's still in still studying high school, still living with his parents, and his portfolio is around $1,500. Situation there is that maybe the portfolio size is not the biggest, but your cost is your cash flow is probably much better because parents pay for your rent, they cook your food, they do your laundry. So basically outside of school, you have potentially a lot of time, unless you're out all the time with your friends. But maybe you're, I don't know, someone a bit older and you're 25, in your 20s, you already finished university, and maybe you're living with your girlfriend and you have a dog. So obviously you live outside, you don't live with your parents anymore. So, you have to pay rent, maybe if you're a gentleman, or depends how you scheduled, how you discussed your situation with your girl. If you're both working, maybe you all the costs you split. But this person right here probably has to earn more than this person above, right? So things that I don't know about you, but you should know about yourself, is your age. Why is it relevant? Because maybe if you're still in high school, do you plan to go to university? Because if you go to university, if you follow with your studies, you probably will aim for something more of a part-time job or internships rather than full-time job, especially when during the day you have classes, you have to study for exams, so your commitment is not the commitment can be all over the place. Also, the net worth, or how much money you have in the market or in your bank account, it's related to the third point, so I'll read it with it. So your monthly cash flow, how much you earn versus or against how much you spend. I think it's really relevant because one of the reasons why I'm making this video is obviously my Twitter account is not the biggest one, but it's not the smallest one as well. I do get quite a lot of messages from people asking me for money, and I'm not sending anybody money, and I think people are going completely wrong about it. Maybe I've had people reach out hey, I'm still a student, I am in debt, I'm gambling, I have $1,000 in the markets, and I'm gambling on high leverage trying to make it all back so I can pay my debt and make my life better. If you're in this situation, you're probably gonna lose the money, you're gonna take on more debt, and you're gonna be unhappy and miserable. So this also kind of relates to the fourth point. Do you have to work, or because of the cash flow or the situation, or do you want to work to expand your network, learn new skills? Because let's say this guy, 25-year-old with master's degree, who maybe has a full-time job or has his own business or has some experience with work, is sharing the cost with his girlfriend, has, let's say, 10-20K to his name. This person is probably way more relaxed than someone with less money. And honestly, I don't think that finding a job in crypto or on CT is for everybody. You really have to make a decision if it's maybe better. We'll get to the later stages, but maybe it's better for you to, first fix your real life issues, like having a debt or living, I don't know if your girlfriend is an issue, but fix your shit in your real life before going like and focusing on something less important, which is markets. So, and then also, do you want to go full-time or part-time? Because I understand why I wanted to have a job or find a job on crypto or in CT. It was because I was spending 10 plus hours every day in the markets anyways. I was sitting on Discord, I was sitting on Twitter. I was like, I don't know, 10, 20 followers account. If I messaged somebody, I never got a reply, right? So I felt really alone. I felt like stuck, and I wanted to meet new people, so I even joined a few of the paid groups. I tried to make friends there. I made some friends, but it's just a bunch of kind of desperate people who pay for a paid group just to learn something. So that's step one. You really need to know what is your situation, but maybe also what are your short-term plans if you want to go continue in the school. Everybody here is different. I want to mention something called hard and soft skills. If you have no clue what these are, you can Google it, or I have an image here. So that can be hard skill are anything that are teachable abilities or skill sets that are easy to quantify. So that can be maybe you live in a country but you speak Spanish and English as well. Maybe English is your second language and Spanish is third. That can be any sort of certification or degree from universities, high schools. I'm sure you can read these. And soft skills are more like interpersonal skills. So how good you're with people. Again, you can read these. But so again, everybody's a bit different. Maybe you're introverted. Maybe, you're not so comfortable speaking with people on the microphone. Maybe you would prefer working alone. So I highly recommend, in a way, kind of making like your own kind of like a CV of yourself, which is, if you don't know what curriculum vitae is, what the fuck? I highly recommend Googling it. So after step 2, you know who you are, in what situations, which situation you are, you know what you're good at. So maybe you got a degree in engineering, maybe you get a degree in marketing. So obviously then, if you know that you want to work or you would love to explore jobs in marketing or anything like that, you can then look for jobs in that field in crypto, right? And then after, also try to be honest with yourself, because you're not gonna, when working with people, you're not gonna fool anybody. They can very quickly figure out if you're bullshitting them. If you can make all sorts of claims about yourself. Don't LARP. I would highly recommend just be honest about it. And then picking your targets. It sounds so aggressive, but then making a realistic plan, and most importantly, not being afraid to shoot your shot. I'll give an example because I made a thread about this a while ago, where I explained basically, if you're watching this video, I assume you're active on crypto Twitter, because I'm not famous or known outside of crypto Twitter. And obviously a lot of people don't even know that I exist. But if you somehow watching this video, chances are that you're active on crypto Twitter, right? You follow all these accounts, actively trading, LARPing, whatever you want to call it. So I think this thread is extremely important. I'll leave a link to it in the description, because let's say, since I'll come back to this, maybe you want to work in marketing. But maybe you don't necessarily have to work for a project, like a company. Maybe you can just work with a trader, right? Because some of these jobs that you can get, I'll start with my step 1 will be interning, because this is a way I did. So I'm gonna explain my thoughts and also what I did. So as I said, I've been on CT back then for a couple years already. No following, no friends whatsoever. But after those years, I already knew which kind of content I like. Back then I liked trading, more like intraday, and I was learning order flow. So in this thread, that's what I kind of explain. You have to really you have to kind of be able to pick an account and be able to put it into category or a segment, and then be able to go from there, right? So in this example, I can pick, let's say, I was interested in content from Simple Alpha. His account is locked, so I can't give an example, but also Adam. So I already like had two accounts which I had in mind, and I would look for smaller accounts that I regularly interact with, right? So you basically like kind of draw your own segment of people who seem to be interested in the same stuff. And at first, I would not message Sim or Adam, but I would look at their reply guys. And I'm sorry that like I'm using this negative word, but this is how I made friends first. So maybe, you know, Adam posts, so we can do this. I hope it will work. So I would open like Adam's content, and I would watch people who commented, and I would follow them. Sorry everybody if I'm showing anybody's account, but I would look through the comments and basically try to read what these people had to say, right? So you can very quickly, when you learn something, let's say, so this was in my case order flow, right? It was pretty easy, even for me as a beginner, to understand, like, are these people asking relevant stuff or are they completely peep, right? So if the guys were relevant, I would follow. Because if these people ask good questions, if they add relevant questions and comments, then I could learn maybe from them first, right? And you're kind of establishing this sort of relationship already, and chances are of someone with smaller account or like, sorry again, reply guy replying is much higher. So maybe you can, exchange thoughts. You can learn, hey, I would love to learn more. I see you understand. These people are more likely to give you their time of their day. Right, so you're kind of continuing, you're building this, like, again, you're building this sort of segment, these groups of people, cohorts, and then again, knowing what you're good at, you can, in terms of internship, sorry to move on, like with Sim, I had him on notification, I still do with Adam. So he posted once something like, hey, I'm super busy, I don't have time for anything, looking for an intern. So what I did is I simply offered to take the job, and I said basically I can do hopefully anything you need me to do in terms of research, some easy intern job. But I think the additional, the greatest selling point was and long story short, Sim replied and said, hey, sure, let's go from there. And what is really good, if you somehow manage to land internship for a bigger account, you create accounts. So maybe you would create, that was my account back then the main account retweets you, and voila, you're all of a sudden, you have, instead of 20 followers, you can have 200, 500, 2,000, I don't know. Depends how big the account is. Obviously, if this video has even 100 views and it's realistically 100 actual people watching the video, I don't know if there's 100 people on entire CT watching, looking for interns, but this is one of the ways. And why is this relevant? So very quickly, like a flow. So you get an internship, they give you a task, you do it well, and like in these days you can use ChatGPT for, or you can Google or ask other, even like your real life friends for help, but you gotta make sure that you do your damn job well. No excuses, no bullshit. You have an opportunity of a lifetime to get good, so you have to make sure that you're doing everything well. And like I always would recommend to underpromise like literally try hard. As hard as possible. You don't have to be annoying, you have to be like obviously professional, but you gotta make sure that you over deliver, because then the person you're working with notices, and like, you know, you're automatically having like doing a good job. So maybe if you tell them, hey, I have bunch of time, I still, you know, maybe again, depending if you can manage, maybe you tell them, hey, is there anybody else in your circles that I can help? Again, for free or paid, doesn't matter, because you can learn and you can expand your network. So maybe they can recommend you to someone or a project. We'll get to this part in a second. But you're already in some sort of circles. You're already not alone in this journey. You have someone you can ask, someone you can work with. Now, on the topic of working projects, because I believe this will be more actionable for most people watching. There's, if you're active on crypto Twitter, you see projects launching every day. Like you have new projects on Arbitrum, on Solana, NFT projects, web development projects, Web3 projects, communities, DAOs. In any of these, you can join their Discord, join their Telegram, do your due diligence. So I'll type these. So the moment you join Discord or Telegram, you can simply join and be friendly. And you can ask, hey, maybe do you need some help? Do you need some community managers or moderators? And I know this job doesn't sound that exciting, and usually it's not, the greatest paycheck you can get on CT or in this job. But let's say you get a job. You get a job as community manager. You have 10 followers, you've been on crypto Twitter for 2 years, you have no friends, no nothing. So you join a project and all of a sudden you have coworkers, right? There's other people doing moderators, but also people who hired you. So then we get back to this, right? You over deliver. If you're a Discord moderator or Telegram mod, whatever, community manager, you gotta make sure you're the best community manager they have. So maybe there's 3 of you or 2 of you, 5 of you. You just gotta make sure you're doing a better job than everybody else. And honestly, it's not difficult because a lot of people are just simply slacking. And I don't want to turn this into motivational speech, but if you get an opportunity, doesn't matter how good or bad it is, you better fucking over deliver. So the moment you over deliver, let's say some weeks go by, some months go by, trust me, people working in crypto, they will notice. Right? So by this time, you already have friends within community managers, maybe the founders, maybe the ambassadors. You already have like inner chat. So you can always kind of push for this, hey, can I help with anything extra? Like offering an extra helping hand. And if people already remember you as someone reliable and hardworking, then you have you already have advantage over anybody else. Because if I learned something over the last year on like being active and getting these gigs and jobs on crypto Twitter, is people just want reliable people, and your network is your net worth. As cringy as it, who said it? I believe it was Gary Vee. Yeah, it's one of these motivational images, but it is so damn true. Because like you can connect with people on Twitter or on Discord for free. So the moment you get them, you prove your worth. You're automatically, climbing these ladders. And the other positive aspect is, maybe you have, 10, 20, 100 followers and you work with your coworkers and maybe some of them has a bigger account. So now, you work together, so maybe they follow you on Twitter. So all of a sudden, like your following grows and like your account just simply snowballs from there. So yeah, I guess that kind of is it for the video. I highly recommend just shooting your shot, but being very realistic, being super realistic with what you're good at, or if you see a lot of jobs that you would be interested in, want certain skill, you can always learn something on internet, most likely for free. So yeah, I guess that's it. Also, I wanted to mention this one website. I'm not sure how still active it is, the Daily Ape. But the Lau brothers have an awesome website. I'm not sure how active it still is. I believe they had like job board back in the days. Again, not sure how. Yeah, it doesn't seem that active anymore. But some of these jobs are like regular jobs that you will get later, like research. What does research and analyst mean? That's someone who can Google and use Excel for the most part. Intern position, as you see, data analyst position. For that you can do ChatGPT 4. Quant roles probably requires education. Software developers are probably not watching this video because there's way too many job offers for them. But yeah, like these are even good. These are even good for maybe someone who is younger, who's still in like undergrad studying, or just someone who grew up on the internet. Like anybody can find a job as long as they accept that maybe their first job will not be getting $15,000 a month for some biz development from a project like Arbitrum or Aave. You have to be very realistic about your ladder. But I guarantee you, if you land something and you do a good job, you will grow pretty quick, because trust me, there is not enough reliable people in this space. So yeah, I hope anybody finds any value in it. I'm not sure, just rambling. But yeah, internships is a great job, and a lot of jobs are very similar to community management, Discord moderating. Think of it really as like your entry-level job. It's not something you should do forever, but from there you can see what type of roles people need, and you already have a circle. That's one thing that's, I think, extremely underappreciated in all of this, that people want crazy jobs to begin with, but they're completely alone. Maybe like as a summary again, you find a job, even if it's not so good, you grow your friends, you make your friends and like network there. And then you can, you already have friends, so you can exchange your ideas. You can, again, prove that you're hardworking. Then maybe they can recommend you somewhere, and that's how you snowball. So yeah, I highly recommend finding a job in crypto or on CT, because it allows you, let's say you need to earn money because you have a lot of bills, like everybody. I think it's better if you want to go one day eventually full-time crypto or like a trading. It's good to be still working in crypto, because it's, I think, much better than someone working outside of crypto. So I do highly believe it's a net benefit for everybody to try to get a crypto job. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you will go for a normal job. Fair fucking enough. Maybe you just want to buy low and sell high in the bull market. Sure. But if you want to be actively day trading and actively involved in whatever this market is doing on day-to-day basis, working for a startup in crypto or even established company is, I believe, net positive. Okay, that's everything for this monologue. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you soon.